Hello students, we continue with the question 18. The file of these questions can be downloaded from the description of the video. Question number 18. A particle of charge Q and mass M move rectilinearly under the action of an electric field E is equal to A minus Bx. So the electric field is given, E is equal to A minus Bx, where B is, A and B are some constant and X is a distance from a point where the particle was initially at rest. So it is like this, a particle having charge Q and M is initially at rest, and due to this field it start moving rectilinearly. Initially it is at rest, so initial velocity is 0. Now clearly electric field is the function of the position. X is the distance from a point from where the particle was initially at a rest. So as the distance changes, the electric field is also changing. So electric field is variable. Now we have two parts. The first part, distance traveled by the particle till it comes to rest. So how much distance this particle will cover till it comes to rest. So when it comes to rest, again the final velocity should be equal to 0. So we have to find out the final velocity at any instant, which should be equated to 0 because finally the particle comes to rest. Now electric field is given. From electric field you can find out force. From force we can find out acceleration, and from acceleration we can find out velocity. So force acting on particle F can be written as Q into E. Therefore F is equal to Q A minus Bx. This is the equation number 2. Now F is also written as mass into acceleration, because we have to find out the distance. So we have to first find out the velocity at that instant, which should be equal to 0. So F is equal to mass into acceleration, which can be written as mass dV by dt. Because the electric field is variable, the speed will also keep on changing. Therefore F can also be written as m. Now we need a position. E is a function of x, or F is a function of x. So we equate this term as dV by dx, dx upon dt. So it is like dividing and multiplying by dx, or the mathematics people know this concept. So we have to find out the relation between v and x, because E is a function of x. Therefore, now this is m dv by dx, dx by dt. Now this two equation can be equated, and this x can, dx by dt can be written as velocity. Therefore m, now this dx by dt is v, this is dv by dx, equation number 3. So this is according to the mechanics, and this is our branch, electricity. Comparing these two equation, so comparing equation 2 and equation 3, we get Q A minus Bx is equal to m v dv by dx. Therefore v dv is equal to Q by m A minus Bx into dx. So cross multiplication. Now integrating this equation with the proper limits. So integrating above equation, so limit v dv 0 to v, that is equal to Q by m integration A minus Bx dx let the limit be 0 to x. So where v is a final velocity, x is a final distance from the origin or from where the particle started its motion. Because the initial velocity was 0, we have taken the limit as 0. Therefore, v square by 2 is equal to q by m a dx integration, that is ax, minus bx dx integration, that is bx square by 2. Now it is given that find the distance traveled by a particle till it comes to rest. So when the particle finally comes to rest, its velocity should be equal to 0. So when particle comes to rest, I can write 0 is equal to q by m ax minus bx square by 2. Therefore, 0 is equal to q by m, x is taken as common, a minus bx by 2. And therefore, now we have to find out the position. So either x is equal to 0 or q by m a minus bx by 2 is equal to 0. So therefore, x is 0 or a minus bx by 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 2a by b. So either x should be equal to 0 or x is equal to 2a by b. So option for this is A. This was the first part of MCQ number 18. So this is the distance traveled by a particle till it comes to a rest. The second part is we have to find out the acceleration at that moment. You have to find out the acceleration at that moment. The second part, from this, acceleration can be written as f upon m. So acceleration is equal to f upon m. Therefore, a is equal to, now f is equal to q by m, that is f is equal to q a minus bx. We have to find out the acceleration when the body comes to rest. This is initially the body was at rest, so its initial velocity was 0, initial position was 0, this is its final position. So we substitute the final position when x is equal to 2a by 2. Therefore, a is equal to q by m, a minus b. In the place of x, we write 2a by b. So this bb is cancelled, a minus 2a is minus a. So acceleration is minus qa by m. So this is an acceleration. Again, the option is A. Now before we move on to MCQ number 19, let us do a theory. You have to find out the electric field at a point at a distance x from the center of charge ring along its axis. So the source is a ring which is charged. Let us say the charge is positive. The amount of charge is q. Let the radius of the ring be capital R, and you have to find out the electric field intensity at a point P. Because the point P is taken along the x-axis, let the distance along the axis of a point P is x. Now this is a linear charge density, and we know that lambda is equal to charge upon the length, that is lambda is equal to q by 2 pi r. So we can substitute q as lambda into 2 pi r as and when it is required. Now we have to find out the electric field intensity at point P. So I will divide the entire ring into a small line element. So this is one element, this is another element. The entire ring is divided into a small element. So first I take the element at this point. You can take an element on the ring at any point, but you have to always take two diametrically opposite line elements. So this is a line element, let the charge is dq and the length is dl. So we have taken two diametrically. So if I take these two elements, the geometry becomes more easier. If I take the element at this point, the another element should be taken at this point, which is in the opposite direction. So we have to take diametrically opposite line elements. Now the electric field intensity at this point, due to only this small element dq dl, is in this direction. So this is the electric field intensity at point P due to this line element. Similarly, due to this line element, the diametrically opposite line element, the electric field intensity is in this direction. Now this is the geometry. Now this angle is taken as theta. This angle is taken as theta. So if we have a test charge at this point, which is at a distance x, due to this element the electric field intensity is in this direction, due to this element it is in this direction. We take this angle as a theta angle. Now we resolve this into the two components. So this becomes dE cos theta and this element also becomes dE cos theta. Similarly, the component along the y-axis is dE sin theta and this component is also dE sin theta. So this is the geometry of the given situation. Now we write the magnitude of electric field intensity at point P. So dE can be written as K source, distance between test and source. Let this distance is taken as R. So it becomes R square. So this is our equation number 1, K dQ upon R square. Now this is the magnitude. Now magnitude of the electric field intensity due to this element or this element is same. Now sin theta is same. So this two component cancels each other. This two component cancels each other. So the resultant electric field intensity at point P is due to all the cosine component. Now it is not that the ring has only two elements. It has infinite elements. So all the cosine components will be along the x-axis and all the sine component will be along the y-axis, and that will be equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So they cancels each other. So resultant is due to cosine component. Also from the figure, I can write R is equal to under root R square plus x square. That is a Pythagoras theorem. Therefore, resultant electric field at P due to all elements can be written as E is equal to integration dE cos theta. So all the electric field intensity is due to the cosine component. So we do the integration. This is equal to integration dE, that is K dQ upon, here we have a R square. So square of this, that is R square plus x square. Then cosine theta, that is cos theta. Now cos theta can be written as adjacent upon hypotenuse. Cos theta can be written as adjacent upon hypotenuse. Now if this is the theta angle, these angles are also theta. So we have a right angle triangle. We have a right angle triangle, two right angle triangle. So if this is theta, this is vertically opposite angles. So this is also theta. So now cos theta is adjacent upon hypotenuse. So integration k dq r square plus x square cos theta, that is adjacent, x upon hypotenuse, that is r means under root r square plus x square. So these are the constant term. Now it should be the integration with respect to q. Therefore, this is equal to k x upon, this is 1 plus half 3 by 2 r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2 dq. So our limit becomes 0 to, say, capital Q if Q is a total charge on the on the ring, and therefore E can be written as k integration of dq is q x upon r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2. So this is how the electric field intensity can be found. So here x is the distance of a point from the center of the ring and capital R is the radius. So you have to remember this formula, which can be directly applied to our MCQ number 19, where x is also given, R is also given. You have to simply substitute the value. Now there are many cases related to this theory. So let us see the cases of this theory. Now see the cases. This was our final answer. So E is equal to kqx upon r square plus x square 3 by 2. And the resultant direction, because sign component is cancelled, the resultant direction is along the x-axis. Now case 1. If the point P is taken as the center, x becomes 0. And if x is 0, the electric field intensity is 0. So the first case, E is 0 at the center of the ring. Second, if x is greater than r, so the point P is at infinite distance, then the electric field intensity, here you can ignore the r, so it becomes kq upon x square, and the resultant direction is along the x-axis. So this is similar to a point charge. So if the point P is lying at infinite distance, the ring behave like a point charge, that is kq upon distance between test and source square. Then E will be maximum when dE by dx is equal to 0. Now this mathematics students know that if any variable or any physical quantity is maximum, its first derivative with respect to another variable should be 0. So if I do the derivative of this E with respect to x by taking x as a r tan theta, and you do this derivative, or dE by dx, you find out the derivative and put it 0, then you will get the value of x to be plus minus r by root 2. So this is the case where you have to remember that E will be maximum at a distance plus minus r by root 2, that is on this side, on the other side. And when I substitute this value of x is equal to plus minus r by root 2 in this equation, E is obtained to be 2kq upon 3 root 3 r square. So you do this as an exercise, substitute these values, and this is the maximum value of electric field intensity, and the graph comes out to be like this. So this is E max at a distance r by root 2. On other side, the distance, due to the direction, the distance is taken as a minus sign. So this is the value of E max. So minimum value, that is 0, the maximum value is this. Opposite of this case is if the ring radius is very large as compared to the distance P, or point P is lying near to the ring, that is x is small as compared to r, then the electric field intensity comes out to be kqx upon rq. Now in the place of q, lambda into 2 pi r, that is the definition of linear charge density, then you put a calculation like this. Now suppose a negative charge is placed at this point. The point is very near to the ring radius is very large. Then the force acting on the negative charge, so Q multiply by E. So Q multiply by E, we substitute this E value. This much force act on a negative charge, and lambda q and other values are constant. Let us say this is our test charge minus q. Sorry. So comparing this with the force, that is force is equal to minus kx. The form of this force is similar to F is equal to minus kx, where k we know is a force constant. So if any force formula is in the form of minus kx, this negative charge will perform SHM motion, that is a simple harmonic motion. We know in the simple harmonic motion the force should be directed towards the center, or the displacement is opposite to the acceleration or a force. So force F is equal to minus kx, where k is a force constant which is lambda q by t. And if any charge will perform or any body will perform SHM, its periodic time is 2 pi under root m by k. Here k is a force constant. I substitute that value of k, and this is the formula for the time period of a charge. So if any negative charge is placed near to the ring and if it is released, it will perform SHM along the x-axis. But on the other hand, you have to remember, if this is not the condition, that x is not negligible relative to radius r, then the charge will still oscillate, but it will not perform a simple harmonic motion. So MCQ number 19, which is the direct application of our theory, a conducting loop of negligible thickness and radius r. So capital R is given as 6 centimeter, carries a charge of 4 microcoulomb. The electric field on the axis of the symmetry of the loop at a distance, so at a distance 8 centimeter from the center of the loop is, now directly you apply the formula E is equal to kqx upon r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2. So you convert this into the coulomb, meter, etc. and substitute the value, you will get a answer for question number 19. Now let us say the MCQ number 20, which is our last MCQ, that is a circular ring of radius r, capital R, with uniform positive charge density lambda per unit length is located in YZ plane. So let us take a ring. This ring is along the YZ plane with its center at the origin. So radius is capital R, this is the center at the origin. A particle of mass m. So the charge on this is positive, the density is lambda given, let the total charge is q. A particle of mass m and positive charge q. So again another positive charge q is projected from a point p root 3 r 0 0 on the positive x-axis directly towards origin with initial speed v. So we have a particle at this point. The coordinate is root 3 r 0 0. It means this distance given is root 3 r. And the particle has a mass. The particle has a mass m and this charge is q. The smallest value of the speed that the particle does not return to p. So now see, the source is positive, the ring is positively charged, the particle which is projected is also positive. So if I place this positive charge at point p, it will be repelled away. So I have to project it with some energy. So if I am projecting it with some energy, it has some kinetic energy, and due to position it should have a potential energy. Now in the previous theory we know that the electric field intensity at the center is 0. So if I project it in such a way that when it reaches at center, its energy should be more than its final energy. Here the electric field intensity is 0. So it will be able to cross this center only if my initial energy is more than the final energy at that point. So as the electric field at the center of the ring is 0, we know that this is a previous theory. The particle will not come back, or it will not be repelled if it crosses the center. So I have to make sure that this particle crosses the center in any case. If it crosses the center, then it will not come back. So the question is, what should be the minimum speed with which it should be projected so that it is not returned back or it crosses the center? So clearly, my energy which is to be supplied to the particle should be more than the energy of this particle at the origin. That is, I can write, particle P will cross center if initial energy of particle is greater than the final energy of particle. That is law of conservation of the energy. So it is clear that you can overcome only if your initial energy is more than the final energy. Now what is the initial energy? Since I have to project this initial energy will be kinetic plus potential. Here there is electric field intensity is 0, so force is 0, so acceleration is 0, velocity is 0, so it will have only the potential energy due to its position. Now what is the initial kinetic energy? That is half mv square, where v is the speed by which the particle is projected towards the center. Potential energy, that is k q upon distance. This distance, again we have seen in the theory, the distance is suppose this is x, this is taken as r. So we have to consider the diametrically opposite end. So the distance should be taken as r. The distance should be taken as r. This should be greater than, now when the particle comes at the center, it will be k, q. Now the distance shortest is the radius. So this is the condition. Now, because the option given is in the form of lambda, if you refer this option, we have in the lambda question. So the q is equal to lambda into 2 pi r. Lambda is equal to, q is equal to lambda into 2 pi r. So therefore, half mv square is greater than, I take this to that side, so k q 1 upon capital R minus 1 upon r. So now this is the mathematical calculations are involved. Therefore, half mv square is greater than k in the place of capital Q lambda 2 pi r small q within bracket 1 by r minus 1 by small r. Now from the geometry, if we see a geometry, now r is equal to, if we take a Pythagoras theorem, it is r square plus root 3 r square. So that is equal to, r square is equal to 4r square. So r is equal to 2r. So small r is equal to 2r. Therefore, half mv square is greater than k lambda 2 pi r small q 1 by r minus 1 by 2r. That is 1 minus half, that is half. R is cancelled, 2 is also cancelled. So half mv square is greater than, this is 1 upon 2r. So 2r is cancelled. We are left with k lambda pi q1. K lambda pi into cube. Also, k should be replaced by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, because in the option we have epsilon naught. So this can be written as v square is greater than 2 lambda pi q upon m, and in the place of k we write 4 pi epsilon naught. This can be written as v square is greater than, so pi is cancelled, 2 is cancelled, so lambda q upon twice m epsilon naught. This is v square. So v is greater than under root lambda q upon 2m epsilon naught. So if your speed or the velocity with which this particle is projected is greater than this value, see this is a constant term, then only this particle will cross its center. But the question is, what should be the minimum value? So if our value is greater than this, or we can say the V minimum should be equal to lambda q upon 2m epsilon naught. So this is the minimum value with which a particle should be projected so that it can it crosses the center. And if the minimum speed is not equal to this value, the particle will be repelled away. So this is level 220 MCQ we have completed. You can download the additional questions which will be uploaded in 2 or 3 days as an homework, and then the key will also be uploaded on the same link. Then you verify that. So level 1 and level 2 solution were provided through the video, but the homework or the practice MCQ that you have to download from the description of the video, you practice it, and then after 3-4 days the key will also be uploaded to the link. And now in the next lecture we will start chapter 2 MCQ. Have a nice day.